So there seems to be a stigma that Pentax cameras are not very well adept at capturing action, photography, and things like that. So I figured, you know what, enough's enough. Everyone talks about it, but I'm going to actually show the settings that I use because honestly, I'm perplexed why so many people have these issues. I've never had an issue capturing anything in high speed. Birds, I do a lot of wildlife and a lot of birds in flight. Whether they're coming towards me, I'm shooting through snowflakes to the bird, or they're panning across. I've I really haven't had any issues. Every time I see these posts, I'm always a little confused as to what settings are these people actually using. So I'm going to walk you through that, and I'm going to show photo examples of the shots that I've actually captured using the settings, and I hope that it helps out. So without further ado, here we go.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn on AFC and enable expanded autofocus, as you can see highlighted in the red circle. On the K3 itself, there is this option here, first frame action in AFC. I leave it on auto. I'm not even sure exactly what it does, but I've tried all of it. I'm still a little confused about that one. The next one up is the action in AFC continuous. I always leave it on focus priority because I want to maintain as much focus as absolutely possible. And for the autofocus hold status, at least for how I shoot, the best mode for me is low, so I can always quickly reacquire the focus when necessary. So this shot here of the Canada geese, actually I remember this. This was shot on my Pentax K30 using the expanded autofocus mode, using continuous autofocus. And again, I always use back button focus. I do not use the shutter button for focusing at all. This seagull here through the snowflakes was shot on the K3. This Canada goose here, again, was shot on my Pentax K30 using the expanded autofocus mode with back button focus. Now, the thing with the back button focus, this was shot on my K30 as well. Now, the thing with the back button focus and disabling the shutter button is I find that the camera just doesn't have to work as hard to try to do too many things at once. This seagull here was shot with the K30. It was flying towards me and then started to dive down. And this final seagull shot here, this was also shot with the K3 coming towards me through the snowflakes. And this turn was actually shot with my K30. So that's pretty much it, really. I mean, those are the settings that I use, and that's basically all there really is. I haven't really had any issues unless it's just too slow of a shutter speed. But in regards to acquiring focus and keeping track of that same focus, I always just leave it in autofocus continuous, back button focus enabled, disable the shutter button, and leave expanded autofocus on. Now with the expanded, it doesn't really, it's up to you if you want to use 5, 7, 9, 11, 25, or 27, depending on the model of Pentax that you have and how much of a wider array you want for autofocus tracking. But these are the settings that I use, and I haven't had any issues whatsoever. So take a look at your settings and see what you're using, and that could be a reason why you may be experiencing some issues with trying to acquire focus on fast-moving subjects. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. That's it.